Hello everyone, I hope you all had an amazing week. In this video, I'll be breaking down the best console mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3. So we actually had a couple large drops this week, with some of my favorite mods being added to the game, and we're close to having 300 mods on consoles, so that's really exciting. But I'll be showing off and just giving a little bit of a guide to the best mods that released this week, because there's some serious bangers that got released. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the 5E Fighter Subclasses Combined mod. This one is made by Sumer Dagnoth here. And what's cool about this is it adds a bunch of new class mods that are based on 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So you got here the Champion. I guess that's one that's already in the game. It actually doesn't include the Arcane Archer anymore. They removed that with the latest update because Larian's going to be releasing their own Arcane Archer. But it has the Banneret, which is the Purple Dragon Knight. This is kind of like a buffer version of the fighter. I wouldn't say it's powerful, but it's cool. You can use your second wind on teammates, and there's a bunch of support utility that it gets. There's also the Brute, which is, as the name implies, strong. The Cavalier, increased movement speed. The Psi Warrior, which uses psionic die, kind of similar to how the Battlemaster Fighter operates. And then we also got ourselves the Rune Knight, which I posted a build for recently, a couple days ago. What's cool with the Rune Knight is you can use your runes to empower yourself, make yourself large. And when you're large and in charge, you can throw enemies around or beat them senselessly with your increased damage. There's also the Samurai and the Sharpshooter. So this mod is just fantastic. Sumer Dagnoth did a huge job with this mod. And I have a really good feeling that we'll also be seeing their other mods, which they had the Monk subclasses combined. I previously done videos about 4 months ago on all of their mods because there's some really great ones. So I have a sneaking suspicion we'll see this soon. So you'll be able to get the Way of the Long Death. I know there's some people fanatically waiting for that, and it'll soon be here. In addition, there's also the 5E Barbarian subclass combined. They'll have to remove the Way of the Drunken Master and the Way of the Giant, which it seems like they already removed those because those will be coming from Larian's version, but this is like the Ancestral Guardian and the Beast. These aren't mods released this week. I just want to give a little sneak peek of what I think is coming next. But another fantastic mod is the Elementalist. So where the Elementalist really strives is that it's got 3 distinct subclasses. And when I say 3 distinct subclasses, I really mean that in the fullest sense of the word, because there's the Elemental Gladiator. I previously did a build guide on this, which is a melee class. You focus on melee attacks. There's the Elemental Strategist here, or Synergist here, which is a half caster, so it focuses on doing weapon attacks in addition to doing spell casting. And then there's the Elemental Weaver, which is a full caster, so you got the melee, the half caster, and the full caster. I'm a big fan of the melee build here just because you got unique weapon actions, and what's cool is you can turn your entire damage type. Like if you want to make a fighter that does pure cold damage, you can do it with this one. It's so fun. You also get the ability to add extra damage types. You can do fire. Let's say you want to do like a fire build with acid and poison damage on your attacks as well. So you can set up your gear that does those effects. You can do that with this build. And you also get a bunch of unique weapon attacks with this. What I like best about this, I'll be also posting a build for the Elemental Weaver later tonight, so stay tuned for that. But they're just so well done. And yeah, I think this is one of the best class mods that got released, just because of the 3 distinct builds you can get, kind of similar to the Mind Weaver. I know a lot of people really like that build, myself included, because it's got so many distinct subclasses. Same thing here. I would definitely give this one a shot because it's got its own unique spells for the Weaver, its own unique weapon attacks for the Gladiator, and I guess everything about it is quite unique. So this is definitely a great mod made by Avire here. They did such a great job with this mod. We also got ourselves some more class mods. I'll start with the Wild Heart, the Umbra Warlock, the Wildfire Druid, and the Cosmic Sorcerer. These are some other class mods I'll get into in a moment, but I also want to showcase something that I think is really great with the Viper Carbine Steampunk Rifle Gun made by Skirby, which you may know them for some of their other mods like the Plasma Weapons mod or the Darker Slayer weapon. But what this one does is it adds a gun for everyone that wanted to play the Artificer and attack with a gun. Here you go. You got your gun. So this is cool. It's a long rifle. They also made some other mods for like hand cannons, so we'll hopefully see those soon. I think this is a good sign because we were able to get this model in, and it's pretty. This is not something that's in Baldur's Gate 3. There's still people commenting on videos saying that PlayStation 5 can't get custom assets, but that's not a asset that's in Baldur's Gate 3. That's a custom asset. So a lot of great things coming from Skirby, so we'll hopefully see more of this coming soon. Also, this is huge. I really like difficulty mods. Previously, we've gotten Tactician Enhanced, which is my favorite, allowing you to scale up enemy damage or enemy actions and their health points. Also, the extra encounters mod that Rela mod has also made. But now we got ourselves there more enemies, and this adds more enemies to basic fights in the game, giving you a bit more of a challenge. So if you're going with an increased party size, now you can fight increased party size for enemies. So like here, example, the Goblin Camp. Now there's 2 ogres there, and this just adds a bunch of extra fights into the game. It's mostly Act 1 and 2 at this point, but they'll be adding more and more to this as time goes on. There was last updated 1 day ago, so stay tuned for more updates to this. I love this mod. As someone that really does enjoy difficulty, this adds a bunch more to it, so that's great. Also, Gem Draconic Ancestry's 5 new ancestry types. This is for all the Draconic Sorcerer fans out there, myself included. What's cool about this is it now adds the Amethyst, Crystal, Emerald, Sapphire, and Topaz versions of the Dragon Ancestry, which gives us Force damage, Radiant damage, Psychic damage, Thunder damage, and Necrotic damage, which is awesome because there are some spells that the Draconic Sorcerer can get for all of these damage types. And it'll also give the spells Command, Guiding Bolt, Dissonant Whispers, Thunderwave, and Inflict Wounds. So you can actually make yourself quite a strong version of Sorcerer for any damage type. This is huge. I'm again a really big fan of this. So yeah, I'll be doing a build here soon of the Force Dragon because there's some cool interactions if you use the Sorlock, which is Sorcerer Warlock build, and do Eldritch Blast and Magic Missile. You can get pretty crazy with it. So this is awesome. I'll be covering this again in detail, and the Dragonborn also got some other updates this mod drop. So I guess one of the biggest ones, I'll just skip ahead to this here, the Dragonborn and Breath Weapon Enhance. This actually makes the Dragonborn a lot more ferocious when it comes to attacking. It gets the Breath Weapon charges, which you can use, and you get upwards of 6 of them as you level up to be able to do Dragon Breath attacks as an attack. So if you got a fighter who can do an attack, Dragon Breath, Dragon Breath. Super cool. You get to choose if you want it in the straight line or the cone. It also gives the Dragonborn superior dark vision, proficiency, and intimidation, and it scales up the damage of the breath attack, because right now the breath attacks in the base game are like a wet fart. They don't do anything. They're very weak. This makes them a lot stronger. So this makes the Dragonborn actually a viable option if you want to be min-maxing, which is great. Obviously it's a mod, but hey, I'm happy to see some love going to the Dragonborn. But I guess back into the other mods here, we got ourselves the Owlbear Cub Familiar. If you're a fan of Scratch, as you should be, you can now do the same thing with Owlbear and have him as a companion. It'll give him, he'll give you the Owlbear's chew toy, which you can throw out, summoning him similar to Scratch, and it's great. For those that really like the Owlbear Cub, you can have him in your fights. He's not like super brokenly strong, so this is nice for just some balance. I guess some mods aren't too overpowered, and that's what I think works best for them. This mod was made by WorldWalker42. Great job with this mod. As a fan of the Owlbear Cub, you can now have him in your fights. Now, for customization fans out there, we actually got a huge one with the hair collection by Tepcoon set here, as they made some other mods. But this one is awesome because it gives us cool hairstyles like this one here with the split color. And many other hairstyles to the game as well. So you can see some of them here in this. I think this is one of the best hair mods that we've gotten. It's got a lot of fresh hairstyles and they all look really good. So if you're looking for further customization, I actually seen a few people really excited for this mod, and I was really excited for it because it was only added December 16th, 2024. So like about a month ago, and it's now on console. So that's a good sign for some other creative mods just like this. But it gives a lot of options for hair. And again, I'm a big fan of customization in video games. So the more, the merrier, in my opinion. But also, we got some more graphic fade mods. So Fade's equipment distribution will allow all of these mods to inject their items into random spots in the game. Kind of similar to how like you find certain items in the game. They have a bunch of them here. So like the wands and the weave, the wizard equipment, obviously specific to the wizard, specific to the cleric, druid, ranger, monk. Previously, we only had like the druid and the ranger. We got ourselves monk, cleric, and wizard now. So you can now download this, get some unique wizard gear. And what's cool about this is they have a lot of unique items that have great benefits for if you're playing a specific class. So this is cool. And there's also some items with unique appearances that are in the game, but not things you can normally find yourself. So I love this mod and all of Graphic Fades mods. I highly recommend them. They're great, especially if you want something new on a subsequent playthrough. And finally, another one that I want to talk about is Lord President's mod, the Dark Urge Astarion. So this allows you to play as the Origin Astarion and also be the Dark Urge. They've done mods for other characters as well, but we just got Astarians on console, so this is really exciting. And yeah, you can play as Astarion and the Dark Urge, getting all the unique content from both. Now, I guess back to the class mods that I'll just highlight here. So the Cosmic Sorcerer, this is a fun one, and this mod was made by Cam the Lit Fam. I previously have done a build for this. It's got some really cool attacks, so you can see some of the icons here. They just look really good. So yeah, you can see it looks awesome. What is the Cosmic Sorcerer, you may ask? Well, it's a sorcerer with cosmic power, so it's got some things like Cosmic Ray and Bubble, which can defend your allies, Eviscerate, which will destroy someone, Comet, which is a fire and force fireball. So this is really fun. Again, if you're a fan of the sorcerer, I'm a big fan of the sorcerer. The Cosmic Sorcerer just has so much cool stuff going on. Spatial Rend, Witness Infinity, Cosmic Ray, and you have a connection to the astral plane. So this is perfect for role playing in Baldur's Gate 3. Definitely recommend this mod. I'm a big fan of this, and again, if you like sorcerer, try this one out. Now, the Circle of Wildfire is cool. I previously covered it, and I actually have a build guide on this on my channel. Same with the Cosmic Sorcerers. You can check those out for further information, but it gives you the ability to summon in these fiery beasts, and you can also wild shape yourself into something like the fiery wolf here. There's a bunch of other, like all the wild shape forms now have an on fire form. They don't get extra fire damage, but they got this cool appearance. As you can see, it's awesome. And it comes with a summon. The Circle of the Wildfire is strong too, because it gets a bunch of fire spells. You get your summon Primal Spirit. There's a lot to love about the Wildfire Druid, so check it out. Umbra Warlock. I just posted a build for this 2 days ago, so you can check that one out as well. This gives you the ability to summon in this nice Umbral Blade, and it comes with a bunch of different effects. You also will reap the souls of the enemies that you fight, and then you can use that for spell slots in the future. So yeah, there's a lot to enjoy with this mod, made by Captain Mainwaring 2. I really like the Umbra Warlock. It's fun. Give it a shot, especially if you want to do a Dark Urge playthrough. It's cool. Finally, the Wild Heart. I love this mod. I just posted a build for this one yesterday. I previously posted a build for the Mother of the Hounds, which is this build, but I just posted a Green Speaker mod. So it has 5 distinct subclasses here. And if you've played Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, you may recognize this a bit because it's very similar to the Sylvan Sorcerer, which is like a Druid Sorcerer combination. So you can see from the spell list, you get some Sorcerer spells, you get some Druid spells, and the same thing with the spell slots. You get a bit of both. There's those 5 subclasses, but you also get a summon. So you can even choose a summon like a Warg Pup, Wolf, or Dog. With the Master of the Hounds, the Green Speaker also comes with their own, like the Blue Jay, Pixie, Sapling, and Wisp, and many others. It's awesome. I just really enjoy this one. As a fan of the Druid and the Sorcerer, this is the perfect combination. It gets meta magics, it gets a summon, it gets the Druid's great spell selection, it gets the Sorcerer's great spell selection. You get Cone of Cold, you get Chain Lightning. It's got it all. So definitely recommend the Wild Heart. It's one of my favorite mods. This mod was made by Wildsong XXL. They've done a great job with this one. There's just so much that goes on in this mod that I just think works really well. So yeah, that's probably the best mods I would say this week. I think we got some very solid ones, and customization, gameplay, difficulty, class mods, we got no shortage of that. And different changes to the races like the Dragonborn. So I know a lot of people were really excited for that, but let me know in the comments what your favorite mod of the week was in Baldur's Gate 3, and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I appreciate the support. I hope you have an incredible day, and I'll see you all in the next video.